All right, what's good, everybody? Welcome to today's YouTube video. It is the 6th of March. Welcome to the fifth trading day. Um, Very exciting, but essentially just took a break-even trade. Um, there wasn't really anything much to learn. I ended up just kind of making a mistake, as I usually do. But yeah, without further ado, let's just get into it. I hope everyone has been having a good day so far. Hope your trading day went well. Honestly, I don't really have any complaints about my training day. I just did something stupid. I'm not gonna fault myself that much for it. At the end of the day, it's just human error, and that can be controlled and learned from. So, you know, it is what it is. But let's just keep pushing. So, um, without further ado, let's just get into the charts. All right. So basically, I ended up wanting a bearish bias for today, just because of this hourly sweep. We ended up sweeping into an hourly gap, hourly bearish, and then we had good displacement lower. So I was kind of thinking, all right, cool. Well, literally, obviously, look at all this displacement, right? We're generating tons of imbalances above us in this gap. So I'm thinking, because we have obviously you can see, right, 5 minute unfilled, 5 minute unfilled, and then we have a 15-minute unfilled too, leaving out our stop. So, or not our stop, but above us with price action. So I'm thinking, all right, cool. Um, if price manages to sweep up there, then we can trade towards this hourly unmitigated and 15 unmitigated gap below. Cool. And then vice versa, right? As we always do, we try to make scenarios. Um, we would sweep into this hourly unfilled and 15-minute unfilled, and then we could trade towards the opposite end, 5 minute unfilled and 15-minute unfilled above. So perfect. A little bit of spoiler alert, but it is what it is. And then yeah, it's really all we need. ES kind of has similar behavior, not really doing anything. We still had that displacement, you know, hourly fair value gap, and then displacement lower. Ooh, lower. We ended up, I think, displacing a little bit lower, and actually ended up sweeping into this hourly gap. So we do have an SMT. But if ES manages to sweep into this 4 hour gap down below that intermediate low, wouldn't be, I wouldn't mind. But yeah, from there, basically just going to market open. So we ended up sweeping to this unfilled 5, and then we ended up having a immediate reaction lower towards this hourly gap. Nothing with ES was happening yet, so I decided to kind of just stay still for a second. But honestly, as soon as we had this hourly, I wanted to see, hey, what's the highest time frame inversion? We have this 1 minute that just formed, and then oh, bang, we hit this 2 minute. So then what happened? Bang, 2 minute entry right here. And then yeah, that's it. Our stop was here, and then I wanted to target this unfilled 15, and then break even at that 5 minute intermediate high. Perfect. This was kind of what I wanted to see. I mean, it was the target. Honestly, it was just we hit the high time frame narrative, which is that hourly PD array, and then we had essentially, I don't know if there was an SMT with ES. No, not really. There really wasn't. But at the end of the day, it's not really about it's about what is the bare minimum. ES didn't really do anything. We didn't really sweep into anything, which was kind of concerning. But I immediately saw this reaction higher, and then I was just like, okay, well, that might be a valid play. What I failed to notice kind of also was that we had an unfilled 15-minute hour stop, which is kind of sucks, which kind of sucked. And then after I noticed that, I was kind of like, all right, maybe we should move our stop a little bit lower, because if price ends up sweeping lower towards this 15 and then continue higher, we could take that entry there too for a resweep. But yeah, and then what happened ended up playing out. So there was so the error, right? So I ended up moving my stop a little bit too early, simply because I was on the 1 minute here for some reason, and I didn't notice that I was on the 1 minute, and I was kind of occupied a little bit with my time, and I ended up thinking this was the 5 minute on ES. So I was like, oh shoot, this is the 5 minute. We created an intermediate high right there. This is supposed to be our break even. Oh, what did price do? Swept into the break even point. No, we did not. The 5-minute break even is up here. This is supposed to be our 5-minute. But I just thought like, oh shoot, you know. So that ended up being a mistake. I ended up moving my stop to break even right at that point that I noticed. And I was like, great. And then price immediately shot down to it. So I was like, cool. It didn't even matter. So yeah. And then moving forward from there, I realized my mistake, and then I just re-entered. And luckily, price was around the same level. I ended up having a further confluence. We created an SMT at the lows right here. So I was like, perfect. Yeah, and then I just re-entered. I was like, great. Re-entered like around here, and then I ended up seeing, oh, hey, look, now fully, right? There is now an SMT at our break-even point. I'm going to close, or not close, sorry. I'm going to go break even, and then like hope for a one-to-one RR, right? So yeah, honestly, I probably should have closed here just because one, we did sweep into that 15-minute too. We did create an SMT off of that, obviously because ES is nowhere near here, so should have closed. But yeah, honestly, it is what it is. Pure speculation, but honestly, what can I do better tomorrow, right? So yeah, and then that's kind of the narrative for today. Because what did price do immediately after? Bang, literally ended up going to our break even. Another play I guess I could have realized was if we like move this a little bit higher and then move this a little bit lower, probably would have banged. Probably would have at least tried to get a one-to-one targeting that 15-minute, but I just said, well, I just said, well, you know, I'm so used to doing the below the stop loss below the wick or the swing low, swing high. And I was like, okay, well, what's the safest bet right here? And then we could just hope for a one-to-one. And obviously, you know, price ended up, you know, sweeping into our TP, but you know, the play was just wrong, and I'll take my lesson from it. It was just stupid mistake, but at the same time, it would have ended with the same result. So yeah. But thinking about it, I think the execution would have just been better to aim for this 15-minute to be the one-to-one and then put my stop below whatever it could be. So like right here. That would have been the better narrative. And honestly, with the type of like movement, it would have been better. But honestly, I'm kind of retracking a little bit. It is what it is. And at the end of the day, we just gotta keep moving forward with what we got. So I'm not going to go into like a tangent on like why this play versus this play would be better. It's just this is the play that I did, and I have to be okay with it. I just have to do better plays in the future. But overall, like I'm glad that I'm not showing any signs of like hesitation. I'm just entering and then just like, you know, whatever happens, happens, right? I'm focusing on like what I can do in the moment. So like focusing on my break even points. I'm not focusing on like, oh shoot, did I mess up? You know, I'm like, all right, I already entered. Stop stressing out about it because you're gonna make a psychological play that's going to hurt you in the long run. So honestly, I'm good. And yeah, hopefully y'all enjoy this video. And hopefully, oh, it's Friday. Yeah, have a good rest of your weekend. I'll see you next week, and hopefully, you know, we'll get some bangers. We will get some bangers for March. All right, peace. Love y'all. Hope you guys have a good rest of your weekend. Bye.